All right. So, like the last kind of momentum program that I wanted to talk about that's just right around the corner is TACFI. I know we've put a lot of information out about it. And again, I want to go back to this original framework here. Like with all of these programs and UFers and all of it, like you want to keep in mind, like what is a transition partner? What's the right program office? Whose program of record might I fit under? And keep that in mind because you want to be using the funding that you're getting under these momentum programs and that time to build trust, to show off your technology, to get the feedback from the actual transition partner, because they're going to be thinking about very different things than what your end user and the operator might be thinking about. So you got to get that feedback, and you can use, again, a lot of these have some sort of element of research and development funding as a part of it. So you can use that to actually build it for the right customer and that right transition partner. So let's jump into TACFI. So again, why we wanted to talk about this one is it opens in January. Now, in years past, you had 6 months, leisurely 6 months to submit. Now, did everyone wait for the last minute? Yes, but that's a different soapbox. So, what we've seen differently most recently is that we've got like 4 to 6 weeks. Now, you need to get a collaboration agreement and like all these funding documents and things like that figured out. And so, like that window is just not enough time for you to then start. So you need to be thinking about like, hey, we want to go after TACFI in the January, February timeframe. Like you got to start on that now. You got to figure out what the right, again, transition partners. You got to get the right level signature. I think it's kernel these days for that actual package. So with that said, start now. And so what are some of the things that you need to know about TACFI specifically? So as far as matching and the ratios and things like that, it's a little bit cleaner. um, I'd say simple, but they don't make anything simple around this. But it's a 1-to-1 matching ratio up to $1.9 million. Again, that's the time of this recording. We've seen them bump it every once in a while, so maybe they'll move it to 2 or something scandalous like 2.1. Huh. So, with that said, like what actually starts the clock is getting your phase 2 award. So that's what has to happen. You have to be on that award for at least 90 days before you can submit. Now, what typically we see is like those phase 2 period of performance will be 18 months, maybe 24 months. You have then 2 years, 24 months from the end of the phase 2 to submit. So almost a 4-year window where you're pretty much eligible for the TACFI submission. Something else to pay attention to, see if they call it out specifically, but you might be able to jump from other agencies' phase 2s to this one. So keep that in mind. And again, look at the specific instructions when those actually come out. But that's something they've been talking about this last year or two. Now, what some of the other timelines are that you need to keep in mind for TAC5 is that um, you can go backwards from submission. So, like I talked about, you've got about this 4-year window that you're eligible, but for the matching piece, from time of submission, so January, February is what we're expecting, what we're hearing, you can go backwards 2 years. So, any venture capital investment would make you eligible to then just go turn around and ask for the up to $1.9 million from TACFI. What's a little less clear, like again, more confusing, is you can go backwards 6 months. Now, for both of these, you can go up to time of award. Now, that if you don't have these things in place and like you're planning on getting them in place before the award and those don't actually happen to be in place when the notification comes out, you can actually lose this award and actually have it withdrawn. So, again, what's important is that you've got these windows and up until that time where they send you that notice and you get that contract award to actually get the matching pieces in place. And again, as much as possible up to that 1.9 million. Now, I guess a little bonus, all right? Like STRATFI doesn't come until the summer. But here we are, we're on the page already. So like let's roll into STRATFI. So the reason I like to I want to throw this out there. Again, it's not opening in the next 4 months like these other programs are that we talked about, or like U for season. It's the right time for that. STRATFI it's further out. It's next summer. But the reason I want to make sure and bring this up is like there's so many different matching pieces for STRATFI specifically. You have to get such a higher level signature at the PEO MAGCOM level. Call me out in the comments for throwing in a bunch of acronyms. Major commands, program executive offices, MAGCOM PEOs. So you got to get this really high level, like general or SES, it's a civilian general level equivalent. So that takes a lot of time to get those things in place. And also, like some of the other pieces we talked about, like setting up UFers, pushing for like higher phase three contract ceilings, like all of that plays really well together into STRATFI. Because then you're looking backwards and forwards, and STRATFI, you've got way more time, 48 months out after submission, after award, to actually go through this matching program. So all that to say is like these things like start to play together. Oh, I did a UFR, I did a phase three, I set up this contract ceiling. Well, now I'm turning around and matching that towards TACFI or towards STRATFI. And again, we haven't hit much on AppFit in this. There's a lot of other videos. You can find our tool page on the website, recordings of our masterclass. Go check that out. But again, like that's another big piece of AppFit is having a contract vehicle in place that can catch this money. So all that to say, like, again, it's momentum season. I hope you understand and see a lot of really great programs to pursue over the next couple of months, and a quick breakdown and eligibility and timelines on some of these different programs. So with that, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found this informative.